Hi, my dear friend, can I ask you something a little personal? Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in there? Or struggled to recall a word that's right on the tip of your tongue, if you just nodded or whispered, yes, you're not alone. We all forget things sometimes. It's normal. It's human, but what if I told you that sometimes, those little forgetful moments might actually be quiet whispers, early signs that something more serious could be beginning, something like dementia? Now, before we go any further, I want you to know this video is not meant to scare you. It's not here to cause worry. It's here to offer clarity, comfort, and maybe even hope, because the truth is, recognizing dementia early can make a world of difference, and I care too much about you not to have this conversation. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in somewhere comfortable, and let's gently walk through this together. Let's talk, heart to heart, about the 5 early signs seniors show before dementia that everyone should recognize. Segment 1, what is dementia, really? Before we dive into the signs, let's make sure we understand what we're talking about. Dementia isn't just getting old or being forgetful. It's a medical condition, a group of symptoms that affect memory, thinking, and social ability severely enough to interfere with daily life. It's caused by damage to brain cells. That damage makes it harder for brain cells to communicate with each other, and when they can't communicate properly, thinking, behavior, and feelings can be affected. Now, there are many different types of dementia. Alzheimer's is the most common, but it's not the only one. Others include vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, and frontotemporal dementia. But no matter the type, one truth remains: early detection can lead to better care, more time with loved ones, and a greater chance to plan life on your terms. So now, let's explore the very first signs that often sneak in, the subtle ones people tend to overlook. Segment 2, sign number 1, subtle changes in short-term memory. Let me ask you this: have you noticed yourself or a loved one repeating the same question within minutes, like asking, "What time are we leaving for the doctor?" and then asking again not long after? One of the earliest and most common signs of dementia is subtle short-term memory loss, and I emphasize subtle, because at first, it doesn't look like much. It's not about forgetting childhood memories or names of grandkids right away. It might just be forgetting something someone just told you, or misplacing items in odd places, like putting your keys in the fridge or the remote in your sock drawer. A study from the Alzheimer's Association shows that people in the early stages of dementia often remember events from years ago clearly, but may not recall what they had for breakfast. Now, we all forget things. That's normal, but when these memory lapses start happening more frequently, and especially when they interfere with daily living, it's worth paying attention. It's not about panic. It's about being observant. Segment 3, sign number 2, trouble finding the right words. Have you ever started a sentence and stopped halfway because you just couldn't find the word you were looking for? Now again, that's something everyone experiences, especially with age. But when it happens often, and the right words feel like they've vanished into thin air, that could be something more. People in the early stages of dementia may struggle with vocabulary. They might describe simple things in strange ways, like calling a watch a hand clock, or a fork a food picker. They might also pause more during conversations, repeat themselves, or seem frustrated when trying to express a thought. And here's the key: it's not just forgetting a word, it's struggling to complete full thoughts or communicate clearly, even in familiar situations. As one neurologist from Johns Hopkins put it, if someone begins losing the ability to follow or participate in conversations they used to handle easily, that's a flag. So, if you've noticed someone pulling away from chats, or if they seem quieter at the dinner table, it may not be shyness. It could be their brain working overtime, trying to keep up with what used to come naturally. Segment 4, sign number 3, difficulty completing familiar tasks. Let's say you've made coffee every morning for the past 30 years. You could do it with your eyes closed, but then one day, you forget the steps, you boil the water but forget the coffee grounds. Or you stare at the coffee maker, confused about what comes next. This isn't just senior moments. It could be one of the earliest functional signs of dementia, struggling with tasks that used to be second nature. Other examples: getting lost while driving a familiar route, having trouble following the steps in a recipe you've cooked dozens of times, struggling to balance the checkbook, even though you've managed the household finances for years. These aren't just signs of distraction or stress. They might be quiet signals that the brain is having trouble planning, organizing, or processing steps in the right order. Segment 5, sign number 4, confusion with time and place. Ever wake up and not know what day it is? That's happened to all of us, but imagine if you constantly forgot what year it is, or got lost in your own neighborhood, or couldn't remember how you got somewhere. This type of confusion is another early warning sign. People may forget where they are, how they got there, or even why they're there. They might struggle with the passage of time, thinking something happened yesterday when it was actually years ago, and when this confusion happens often, it can lead to fear or anxiety. People might feel lost in their own homes. Or they might withdraw socially out of embarrassment. One woman shared about her husband, saying he went out to get the mail and didn't come back for over an hour. He had gotten turned around in our own neighborhood, one we've lived in for 40 years. That's not normal aging. That's a brain crying out for help. Segment 6, sign number 5, personality and mood changes. This one can be the hardest, not because it's subtle, but because it hits close to the heart. Imagine someone you've known your whole life, kind, gentle, warm, suddenly becoming suspicious, easily irritated, or even depressed. You might think, that's just old age, or he's just having a bad week. But often, early dementia comes with changes in mood, behavior, and personality. People might become unusually anxious or fearful, lose interest in activities they once loved, seem angry or aggressive without clear reason, develop obsessive routines or paranoia, like accusing loved ones of stealing things they misplaced themselves. These changes aren't just grumpiness or getting set in their ways. They often reflect changes deep within the brain, especially in the frontal lobes, which control personality and behavior. And for families watching it happen, it can be heartbreaking, but knowing it's a symptom, and not a choice, helps us respond with compassion rather than frustration. Emotional pause, spoken with empathy and calm. I know this is a lot to take in, and maybe, just maybe, some of these signs feel familiar. Maybe you're thinking of someone you love. Or maybe you're thinking of yourself. If so, please hear me, you are not alone. These signs don't mean life is over, they mean it's time to pay attention, to talk to someone, and to plan together, because catching dementia early doesn't just open the door for treatment, it opens the door for understanding, support, and most importantly, dignity. You are still you, even if your brain is going through changes. Your soul, your heart, your story, they're still whole, and there is always hope. Coming up in Chapter 2, in the next part of our conversation, we're going to talk about what to do if you've seen these signs, whether in yourself or someone you love. We'll explore real options, gentle steps, and ways to face the future with strength. You're not on this journey alone, my friend. When you're ready, just let me know, and we'll continue this together. Until then, be kind to your heart. You've made it this far, and I'm proud of you. I just want to take a moment and say, thank you for being here, for having the courage to keep listening. I know Chapter 1 might have stirred up some emotions. Maybe it brought back memories. Maybe it even hit close to home, and if you're here now, it's because you care, maybe for a parent, a partner, a friend, or maybe for yourself. That kind of care takes strength, and I'm proud of you. Now that we've talked about the signs of early dementia, you might be wondering, what do I do if I recognize those signs? How can I help someone I love, without making them feel afraid or ashamed? Is there anything that actually makes a difference? Yes, there is so much you can do, and this chapter is all about that. So, let's walk this road together, step by gentle step. Segment 1, don't ignore the signs, start the conversation. Let me start here. If you've noticed any of those early signs, in yourself or someone close to you, the most important thing you can do is not ignore them. I get it. It's tempting to brush it off. To say, oh, it's just age, or that happens to all of us. But early dementia isn't something that just goes away. It tends to sneak in quietly and stay. But here's the hopeful part: the earlier it's noticed, the more choices you have. You can plan. You can treat symptoms. You can prepare, not in fear, but in love. So what's the first step? Talk, open a gentle, loving conversation. Let's say it's your spouse or your parent. You could say something like, hey, I've noticed you've been forgetting things a little more than usual lately. I just want to make sure everything's okay. Do you feel that too? Or, you seemed frustrated the other day when you couldn't find the right word. That's not like you. Maybe we should talk to the doctor together, just to be safe. Not accusing. Not labeling. Just caring. Observing. Holding space. And if it's you who's noticed the changes in yourself, please, don't keep it inside, reach out to someone you trust. You deserve support, not silence. Segment 2, make a doctor's appointment, and prepare for it. Once you've opened the door to the conversation, the next important step is seeing a doctor, preferably a neurologist, geriatrician, or a primary care physician who knows your history. And don't wait until things feel bad enough. The goal isn't to wait for a diagnosis, it's to catch things early, while your voice is strong and your mind is still working in your favor. Now, when you go to the doctor, go prepared. Bring a written list of symptoms you've noticed, with dates or patterns if possible. Specific examples, like forgetting appointments or getting lost. A loved one or caregiver who can gently speak to what they've observed. Any medication list. Some meds can mimic dementia symptoms. Doctors often use a mix of physical exams, memory tests, and brain scans. They'll also rule out other causes, like vitamin deficiencies, thyroid problems, depression, or even dehydration. Yes, it's true. Some symptoms that look like dementia are actually treatable conditions. That's why it's so important not to self-diagnose. Let science help. Let the professionals support you. You don't have to figure this out alone. Segment 3. Build a support circle. You're not meant to do this alone. Here's something I want you to remember, and I mean this with all my heart. You do not have to go through this by yourself. If you're someone who's noticed early signs in yourself, it might be tempting to hide, to withdraw. Maybe even pretend nothing's happening, but isolation only makes it harder, and shame doesn't belong here. The truth is, most people who go through early-stage dementia, or care for someone who does, find strength not in solitude, but in support. So, build your circle, talk to family, even if it's a little uncomfortable at first. Close friends, the ones who truly listen. Support groups, in person or online, for people just like you. Social workers or memory care counselors. The Alzheimer's Association offers wonderful free resources and helplines. Local hospitals often have memory clinics or dementia programs. Churches and community centers may host caregiver groups where people cry, laugh, and heal together. You don't have to do everything overnight, but just reach out to one person today. That's enough. That's how healing begins. Segment 4. Create a care plan, with love, not fear. Let's be honest, dementia is a difficult journey, but it's a journey you can face with dignity and clarity when you make a plan early. Here's what a basic care plan can include. Medical management. What medications can help manage symptoms, what appointments or therapies are needed, is a specialist involved? Legal and financial planning. Advance directives. What are your wishes for the future? Power of attorney. Who will help make decisions if needed? Wills, trusts, and other estate planning needs. Daily living support. What can help make life easier? Labeled drawers, routines, calendars. Who will help with meals, bills, or appointments when needed? Emotional and social needs. Show will you stay connected, joyful, and mentally stimulated? What hobbies can bring comfort and purpose? Remember, this isn't about giving up control. It's about gaining control, while you still can. It's about creating peace, for yourself and for your family. Segment 5. Lifestyle choices that can slow cognitive decline. Here's the part no one talks about enough. You can still fight back. Gently. Powerfully. Every day, science now shows that certain lifestyle changes can slow cognitive decline and improve brain health, even after early dementia signs appear. Here are 5 proven habits that help. Exercise regularly. Even a 30-minute walk, 3 to 5 times a week, increases blood flow to the brain and boosts memory. Eat a brain-healthy diet. The Mind Diet, a mix of Mediterranean and DASH diets, has been shown to lower the risk of Alzheimer's. Think leafy greens, berries, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, and fish. Stay socially connected. Isolation speeds up cognitive decline. Chat with a friend. Join a club. Call your grandchildren. It all matters. Keep learning. Try puzzles, crosswords. Learn a new skill. Read something new each week. Your brain loves to be challenged. Get good sleep. 7-8 hours per night. Deep, uninterrupted rest clears toxins from the brain. Yes, sleep is that powerful. You may not be able to control everything, but you can control something. And that makes all the difference. Closing, spoken with deep encouragement and care. I want to leave you with this. You are not broken. You are not a burden. You are a human being with a rich history, a beating heart, and a life that still matters deeply. Whether you're facing dementia, supporting someone who is, or simply wanting to prepare yourself wisely, you're already doing something incredibly brave. You're showing up. And I want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, that you are seen. You are valued. And you are not alone. We still got one more chapter to go. In Chapter 3, we'll talk about how to live well with dementia, how to find peace, joy, and meaning, no matter what. When you're ready, I'll be right here with you. Take your time, my friend. This journey is yours, and you don't have to walk it alone. If you've made it to this chapter, I just want to take a moment to say, you're incredible, really. You are. You've sat with hard truths. You've listened with an open heart, and most of all, you've allowed yourself to care deeply, even when it hurts. That's not easy. But it's what makes you strong. It's what makes you, you. Now, in this final chapter, I want to take a breath with you, because yes, dementia is serious. It's scary. It's life-changing, but here's what it's not. It's not the end of who you are. It's not the loss of your worth, and it's not the end of love, laughter, or life. So today, let's talk about something powerful: how to live well, even with a dementia diagnosis, how to build a life with meaning, dignity, and hope. Let's begin, gently. Segment 1. You are still you, more than a diagnosis. Let's start with something that people often forget to say: a diagnosis is not your identity, you are still the same person who held your child's hand when they were scared, built a life from scratch, overcame losses, heartbreaks, and fierce lot until your stomach hurt, loved someone with your whole heart. That person, you, is still here, even if your memory fades, even if your thoughts get cloudy, even if your days get harder to follow. You are not just a dementia patient. You are not just a burden or a case or a number, you are a human soul, full of value and story and light, and the people who love you, they see you. Even if your memory dims, their love does not. So please, if you've been diagnosed, don't shut down. Don't go silent. Don't disappear from your life, you are still you, and you still matter. Segment 2, Finding Meaning. Every day has purpose. One of the greatest fears people have when they hear the word dementia is this: what's the point now? What can I even do? And my answer to that is simple: you can do what you've always done. You can love. You can connect. You can give. You can live. Just because your brain is changing doesn't mean your soul is fading. In fact, some people with early dementia actually find more meaning than ever before. Why? Because they start to focus on what matters, they let go of the small stuff, they become more present, and even if the mind forgets, the heart remembers. Here are some ways to keep finding meaning, day by day. Tell your stories. Write them down. Record them. Share them with grandkids. You carry wisdom the world needs. Create routines that bring peace. Maybe it's morning tea, music at noon, or a walk before sunset. Give love freely. Hugs, compliments, laughter, these don't require perfect memory. Stay involved. Volunteer, help cook, garden, care for a pet. These little acts bring big joy. Savor your senses. The smell of lavender. The warmth of sunlight. The taste of your favorite meal. Be here. Now, you don't have to chase the past, you just have to be. And that's enough. Segment 3, Adapting with Grace, Tips for Daily Living. Now, let's talk about something practical, because while love and meaning matter, so does feeling safe and supported at home. If you or someone you love is living with dementia, here are some simple, powerful changes you can make to daily life. 1. Keep a consistent routine. Wake up, eat, and sleep at the same times each day. It brings comfort. It reduces confusion. Point 2. Label important items. Put signs on doors, drawers, even appliances. A label that says toilet or coffee may seem small, but it makes life feel less scary. Point 3. Use memory tools. Calendars, clocks with day and date, daily to-do lists, sticky notes, or digital reminders. These things help. Point 4. Create a calm, clutter-free space. Too much visual noise can overwhelm the brain. Keep things simple, soft, and familiar. Point 5. Stay engaged, not overstimulated. Instead of loud TV or chaotic crowds, try listening to favorite old songs, doing a puzzle or coloring page, looking through photo albums, taking a gentle walk in nature. These things soothe the nervous system and the soul. And here's the key: don't focus on what's lost. Focus on what remains. There's still so much life left in each day. Segment 4, Supporting a loved one with dementia, with patience and heart. Now, if you're the caregiver, if someone you love is walking this journey, I want to talk just to you for a moment, because I know how heavy your heart might feel. Maybe the person you've shared your life with is starting to forget your name. Maybe your parent looks at you with a blank stare. Maybe every day feels like a repeat of yesterday, and you're exhausted. If no one has said it to you lately, let me say it now: you are doing an incredible job. You are loving through one of life's hardest chapters. You are showing up, again and again, with patience, with grace, with tears sometimes, and it matters. Even when they forget what you did, the love stays. Here are a few reminders that might help. Be present, not perfect. You won't always say the right thing. That's okay. Just being there counts more than words. Join their world. Don't drag them into yours. If they think it's 1957, maybe just smile and ask, what do you love most about that time? You don't have to correct them. Just connect. Accept help. You can't pour from an empty cup. Let others in. Ask for breaks. Join a caregiver group. You deserve care too. Celebrate small wins. A smile. A clear moment. A shared laugh. These are gold. Let them fill your heart. You are not alone in this. There is an army of people walking the same road, quietly, bravely, lovingly, and you're one of them. Segment 5, A message of hope, light in the darkness. I want to end this final chapter with a message of hope. Dementia is hard. It changes lives. It changes relationships. It tests everything you thought you knew, but it also reveals the depth of love. It teaches us that connection doesn't live only in memory, it lives in touch, in presence, in quiet moments, and most importantly, it reminds us that every day is a gift. So whether you're in the earliest stage, or watching someone slip away slowly, I want you to know this: there is still beauty. There is still meaning. And there is still you. Take walks. Watch sunsets. Tell stories. Say, I love you, every chance you get. Let this chapter, whatever it looks like, be written not in fear, but in grace. Heartfelt conclusion, a gentle goodbye. For now, my dear friend, thank you for walking through this video with me. Thank you for having the courage to face a subject so many avoid. And thank you for caring, for yourself, for your family, for the people around you. If you found this helpful, please consider sharing it. You never know who might be silently struggling, waiting for someone to understand. And if no one has told you lately, you are loved, you are needed, you are not alone. Take good care of your heart, stay curious, stay kind, and know that I'm always here, whenever you need a gentle voice to remind you that you matter. Until next time, with all my heart, thank you.